So in our previous class, we discussed about the introduction to Java, history of Java, and certain features of Java, and we also seen how the Java works. Like, so what is the source code name, extension, how we can compile it, and know how the compile file will be interpreted and it will be executed finally. Okay, we also seen how the Java works, and yeah, it is very important to know about class and object and Java class structure and object creation to the class. So let's talk about all these things. So in entire Java, most of the times we'll be hearing only two things. One is class and object. So that's the reason I have given more importance and kept it here. So let's first talk about object. Okay, so anything we see in reality, anything we see or anything we touch it in reality, we can call them as an object. For example, you can take a car object. You can take a car. It's an object. Okay, and you can take a building or house. Okay, those are an object. And you can take a laptop, a mouse, a keyboard, a table. Okay, anything we see or we can able to touch, we can call them as objects. Okay, so before creating an object, everyone has to need something. Let's say, for example, you are going to construct a house. Okay, so before we start constructing the house, so everybody needs something. Okay, does anybody guess what we need? Yeah, Nishil or Swati or Aruna, anybody guess? So before we construct a house, okay, so what do we need?
House plan.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's excellent. So we need a plan, right? Before we construct a house, we need a plan, okay? So that's a first priority, and the first thing we start with the plan only, okay? So once we have the plan, and then we'll go for material and we go for labor and we can construct it. Okay, so if you take the car, how a car will be built, how a car can be manufactured. Okay, before manufacturing the car, we need a plan for that car. We need a design for that car, and we can also call them all these things as a blueprint. Okay, before constructing a car or a house or a building, we need a blueprint for that. Once you have a blueprint, we can create n number of objects. Okay, let's say I have a design for design for a car. For example, I have a design for a BMW car, and once I have a design for that car, I can replicate same design I can use, and I can build multiple cars. Right? I can with the same design, using the same design, we can define or we can manufacture multiple cars. Right? So uh, if you take medical medical things and all, so they will be having a formula. Okay. Once they are having the formula, they can able to construct a number of medicines. Right? Yeah. Yeah, everyone can be in mute. Class and object. Okay. So yeah, please everyone can be in mute. And if you have any questions, yes, please raise me your question. I can hear some disturbance. And class and object, right? So that's about object. Okay. So before we construct an object, we need a blueprint. Okay. Before we construct an object, we need a blueprint. At the same time, in Java, before we create an object, okay, so we need a blueprint. So that blueprint we can call it as a class, for example. Let me create. So before construct a car, we need a design that we can call it as blueprint. Okay, and in Java programming language, okay, before create an object, we also need a blueprint. and this blueprint we will call it as a class. Okay, so that's the relationship between a class and object. Okay, without the class there is no object exist. Okay, without the design there is no, nobody is going to construct a house or building, right? Or nobody is going to construct a car. Otherwise what happens, no, they assume something and the output will be something. Okay, that's the reason we need a blueprint that is must ensure. At the same time, in Java, before we construct an object we need a class for that. This you need to understand, or you need to remember, and you should never forget this one, this relationship. Okay, so now to say object can be constructed from the class, can be constructed from the class. Another definition: object is an instance of class. What is a class? Class is a blueprint, nothing else. Okay, and if you want to add, it has certain member data. Class has certain member data. Okay, so we can add a number of definitions. There are many definitions, but these two definitions for a class is more enough, and these two definitions for an object is more enough. Okay, and one more question here. So is there any two objects are same? Any two objects are same? Okay, do you say two cars are same, or two houses are same, or two laptops are same? Looks, the color wise and other stuff, it looks wise, very similar. Okay, so it's very hard to identify these two are different. Okay, but still I'm asking a question: is there any chance that two cars or two objects or two laptops or two houses can be same, or two bikes or two cars, whatever it could be? So anybody can answer.
Yes, they are same, but the the inner mechanisms like which the parts they add might be little different.
Mm, so can you say that two objects are same?
Yeah, externally, yes.
Okay, let's say I can call a person, I can call persons as an object because we can see them, we can touch them. Okay, I can call cars are an object. Okay, bikes, laptop, everything we can call, anything we can see and we can touch, we can feel it, we can call them as an object. Okay, so let's assume, is there any chance that two person can be same even though they are twins?
Yeah, some identical twins.
Okay, but uh, look similar, but they are two different objects, or they are two different people, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so they look similar, but they are two different people. There are two number, right?
Mhm.
Let's say if you take a car, they look similar, but their model number or the manufacturer number will be there, right?
Mhm.
So for every car, there could be an engine number, a serial number will be different, right?
Yeah.
So if you consider that no two objects are different, at least there could be some variation. Okay, at least one or two variations will be there. Okay, let's say there are two cars who are manufactured with the same model. Okay, with the same design, same model, and but no, one car color is black and another car color is white. Okay, so there is a variation. Okay, there are two persons, one is studying some bcom, one is studying some btech. Okay, there is some variation. Okay, so though the objects look similar sometimes, but no two objects are same. Okay, so this definition or this formula are, you need to remember: no two objects are same. Okay, each object has its own data, right? So let's say if you take a car, what is the data of a car? So its color and its number of wheels, its engine model, and its speed and its horsepower, right? So and its data and the other car data could be different, right? The other car has more speed than the the car which is next to that. Okay, so each object has its own data and no two objects are same. Okay, so this thing we need to understand how two objects communicate. Let's say take two persons. Okay, how they communicate? By by talking. Okay, right? So by talking they communicate, and some people by moving their hands they communicate. Okay, so by performing some action or by performing some operation, they are able to communicate each other. Okay, in the same way, objects communicate each other using its actions. We can also call them as methods. Okay, we can also call them as methods. So these are, so these things you need to, these are the very fundamental. Okay, and these things we should never forget and we always need to remember. So let's talk once again. Class is a blueprint and object can be constructed from the class. Object is also an instance of a class. Without the class we cannot create an object. Okay, to construct an object we should need an object. That's very important. Let's talk about a Java class structure. Okay, so we already used Eclipse and we created some classes. Of course, let me talk once again. In Java, the class structure is like this: class name. Okay, so let's take class name as mm, animal. Okay, or you can take a car also, animal also, anything is okay. So what is the data a animal will be having? Okay, so so it will be having a color and number of legs and so each animal eats a different kind of foods. Okay, so if you take a lion will eat some kind of food, and a donkey will be eating some kind of food. Okay, each animal eats its own different kind of food. That's the reason I added a food type. Okay, and okay, speed, each animal walks or run in a different speed. If you take a lion, it will it speeds little bit lesser than tiger. If you take tiger, or in the tiger itself, if you take cheetah, it will take more, it will run in more speed. Okay, so that's the reason I also added one more data and what operations it can do, so or what actions it can do. Okay, so each animal bark, right? It makes some noise. Let's say make noise. Each animal make noise, and this noise will be different to different animal. Okay, so it's different from animal to animal. And sleep. Most of the animals will sleep in the same manner. That's okay. And there could be many other actions it does. It eat and it run, it walk. Okay, so it does. Okay, let's take this one. Okay, okay, let's leave it. So as I said, this one we call it as animal. Sorry, this one we can call it as class. And these are called as variables, or in general we call it as data, but in a programming language we call it as data. Okay, these are called, anybody can tell what these are called? These are called these are called actions or methods. In Java we call them as methods. In general we call it as actions. And this is called constructor. Okay, so every class having every class will be having certain properties or certain member data. Okay, so these we can call, so simply every class will be having certain variables and methods. Yeah, can everybody please be in mute? If you to mute, please click on this one. Okay, so to be in mute, please click on this mute. Okay, I can hear some noisy. Aruna, yes, Aruna, please go ahead and ask me. Yeah, Aruna, it seems you are having a question. You can ask me?
Hello.
Yeah, Aruna, please go ahead.
Sudhir, here I have a doubt.
Yeah, please go ahead.
You're mentioning this public void and method name, right?
Yes.
So whenever we use any methods in our class, we
Okay.
need to, the syntax will be like public void and method, or we need to use only one public void method. Is there any restriction like that? Or?
Okay. Yeah, I understand your question. Yeah, please be in mute. I will be answering that. Wait, I can hear. Okay. Yeah. So these are called. Okay. These, yes, that's a valid question. Okay. Perfect. So yeah, please mute everyone. I recommend everyone to be mute. Okay, I'm hearing lots of noisy. Please, everybody, check whether you are in mute or not. If not, please click on this one. Just do Alt A to mute yourself, like this. Yeah. Okay. So these are called right now. I'm just talking about the class structure. Okay, you just need to focus on only the class structure. And in a class, this is called class name. These are called variables, and this is called constructor, and this is called a method. A method will be having an access modifier, and a method will be having a return type, and method will be having a name. Okay, so that's what we written. Okay. So any class, any if you see any a class, typically it will be having this kind of structure, and there won't be any changes. Okay. So as I said, this is the access modifier. This could be changed. There are different kinds of access modifier that could be changed. And return type, if your method is not returning anything, we just have to specify void. If your method is returning some integer, you need to specify int. If your method is returning some a characters, okay, you need to specify char. Okay, so this is called a return type. Okay, so we'll deal it later going forward. Right now you just need to remember this class structure. Okay, a class will be having certain data and certain actions. Data we can call them as these things, okay, like variables, and actions we call them as methods. Okay, this you need to remember. I'll be sharing this. All right. Okay, so the other topic which is left is object creation to a class. Okay, we cannot create the we can't create a object easily. First we need to create a class, and for that we can create an object. Okay, so what is the class we created here? We created a class animal. To create an object for a class, you need to specify the syntax is class name and object name. Okay, this we can also call it as a reference variable name or object name. So let me, okay, so sometimes if I say reference variable name, sometimes if I say object name, both are same. Class name and new class name. Okay, so this is a syntax, and it's a syntax to represent in a to create an object for the animal. What is the class name? Here it's a animal, and object name can be anything. I just say animal obj new animal. Okay, so this is how we need to create a class, create an object. Okay, we can call it as object creation, and this is called syntax for object creation. Okay, so this is how we need to do. You need to remember, or you need to note down, or you should never forget these things. These are the very fundamentals of Java, without which we cannot proceed anything. Okay, so in my previous classes I explained how to install Eclipse and how to use it. So I'll be using an Eclipse now to create a class and to create a object. If I design a plan, if I design a car plan, how many cars I can create? Okay, so is there any restriction that I have to create only 2 cars, 3 cars? Okay, there is no restriction. We can create n number of cars with the same plan. We can create n number of cars, but there could be chance that the data of a car could be variant, right? So let's say one car color will be black, and one car color will be white, and other one is red, something like that. Okay, but with the same plan we can create a number of cards. In the same way, once you create a class, you can create n number of objects for that class. Okay, let's see how to do that. So remember, we are in batch 10. Okay, so whatever I'm going to create an example, everything will be in this Java project. Let me create. So what is that class? Animal, right? So yeah, let me show you that how to do that. So click on the package, select the package, do right click on the package, say new class. Okay, remember, click on the class, and you have to say class name, that's animal, and nothing else. You just say finish. Okay, so it's going to create few things for you. One is package, we already discussed what is a package, and other one is public class animal. By default it will be creating a public class for you. So as I said, public is an access modifier. We are going to discuss about this in our later classes. What is an access modifier and what kinds of access modifiers are there. We are going to discuss that, and before that, let's start. Okay, so what are the, let's take the examples here, whatever we have created. So it has int color, string color, number of legs, food types, periods, right? Define all these things. So you can define a number of variables. There is no restriction. String color, int number of legs. Okay. So let me define the color is red here itself. So when you define a string, you have to keep it in a quotes. Okay. String is nothing but set of characters, and set of characters we have to keep it in a quotes. Okay, remember that when you're defining an integer, it's just a number. Integer is nothing but a number, so you don't need to be keep in quotes. Let's define the methods. Public void. So what are the methods? Make noise. Okay, and public void. And what is the other method we have created? And sleep. Make void. Sleep. Okay. Okay. Just a second, it got stuck. Doesn't know. Okay. Sleep. And every method will be having a starting parenthesis and closing parenthesis. Okay, so method is nothing but combining group of statements. A method, we can call it as combining group of statements. When you are combining group of statements, you need to start a parenthesis, and once you completed your statements, you need to close a parenthesis. Okay, so that is the reason we should have starting and closing parenthesis. And in the make voice, I can say, okay, I can also create another method, public void display details, and I can display these details. Okay, to print something, we need to use system.out.println. The same thing I'm using here. To print something on the console, we need to use system.out.println. So this you need to remember. Okay, so one more very important thing, you need to create a main method. Okay, so in a class, in Java programming, the execution starts from the main method. Just give me 1 second. Sound sorry, yeah, okay. So in Java programming, the execution starts from the main method. Okay, that is first thing you need to note down. And even if a Java program contains 1,000 methods, okay, when you start execute, it will look for the main method. If it doesn't find a main method, it will not execute any single piece of your code. Remember, in Java, the execution starts from the main method. When you start running your program, the Java will try to look for the main method. If it is there, it will execute. Otherwise, it will not execute any single piece of your code. That's first thing. Second thing, you need to note down, when you if you want to invoke any if you want to invoke any variables or methods inside a class, if you want to invoke any variables or methods inside a class, you need to create an object for that. Okay, you need to create an object for that. That is second point. So now I'm creating an object for the animal class, that is animal obj equal to new animal. Okay, when you say animal object, now once I create an object for the animal class, I have access to the variables and the methods. What are the variables? Color, number of legs. What are the methods? Make noise, and sleep. Okay, and I know that you might be wonder what is this finalize, what is this equal, what is this get class, hash code, okay, all those things. Okay, so every class, this is one more point you need to remember. Every class is every class extends from extends or inherited or created from object class. Okay, so there is a class called object. Okay, there is a class called object, and whatever the class you create, it could be an animal class, it could be a student class, it could be a calculator class, or it could be a car class. Whatever you create, everything will be extended or inherited or created from the object class. Okay, so but we don't see that object here, we don't see that object class here, because by default every class created from the object class. Okay, so all these methods, whatever you see, dot equals, get class, finalize, hash code, notify all, and toString, wait with parameter, and all these methods are from the object class. As this animal class is created from the object class, or it is inherited from the object class, so you are eligible or you are allowed to access the methods which are part of the object also. Okay, so that's no need to worry. What we need to concentrate it, how to create an object and how to access the variables and methods. Okay, so I'm calling make noise. When you say dot, immediately it's going to show a pop-up. Select the one, type which you want
Hello.
it. Yes,
Sudhir, I have a doubt here.
yes,
Here public static void main you have declared, right? This is for
yes,
main method.
yes.
Till main I have understood. What is this string args and is this syntax? We should always
we have to always go
mention
with it.
syntax like this.
Exactly, it's a main method, and whose syntax is this one. Yeah, you have to go with that. So changing anything will not work. Changing anything will not work. Okay, so if you modify these things, okay,
Okay.
you cannot execute this main method. Okay, it will be a normal method. It will be again a kind of
Okay.
normal method. Okay, so to make Java can able to understand this method, to make Java can able to recognize this method, you have to follow this syntax as it is. Okay, no need to worry how to create this, this much method. You just say main and say control space, it will be given you. Okay, so fine, thank you. Now let's run this one, and before running, let me call another method, animal object dot display details. Okay, so till now I only invoked methods. Okay, let me invoke the variables also. As I said, I can also invoke variables, color. Okay, so okay, there are many shortcuts in Java. Okay, you do sysout, type sysout and do control space. It's going to give you system.out.println. copy this copy this thing and paste it here. Okay, so I recommend you to learn Eclipse syntaxes. Okay, in any any in Eclipse website or somewhere. Okay, it's also recommended to learn these Eclipse shortcuts. It will be very easy in order to program the code. And animal object dot, what is other variable, number of legs. Okay, and do a run as Java application. Right click, run as Java. This is one way of running. Select the class, right click, run as Java application. This is second way of running. Click on the run animal. This is third way of running. Okay, so you can use any of the way and execute it. Okay, So if you can see what it is printed, first one is animal object dot color. What is the color? Red. It has printed. And animal object dot number of class, that is 4. Okay, and in the make noise I printed as make noise, in the sleep I printed as sleep, and in the display details I printed again this variable information. If you can see it, check color and number of legs. Okay, so that is how it will be. Okay, okay, so going forward you will be slowly understand. Okay, what I recommend you is go through my video once again, and please type as it is as I written. Okay, and try to complete this assignment, and make sure you also get these output. Okay, so this is your first step in Java. Once you understand it, going forward we'll be creating many more examples, and you'll be understand each and everything. Okay, so this one thing you need to understand. Okay, so it's well and good. So anything else I have to cover for this class? Okay, object creation, that's done. Okay, in our next class we'll be working with the variables. Okay, so what you can do is I'm going to give you an assignment. New, create a class calculator. Okay, I'll be writing something here for you, and rest of the code you need to fill it. Okay, two things you need to do. One is you need to work with the animal and make sure it's working fine, and the second one is calculator. I'm not going to write complete code here. I'll be writing a pseudo code, and you have to fill the remaining part. Okay, so tell me, what are the actions which we can perform on a calculator? So when I give you a calculator, what are the things you can work with the calculator? Tell me those operations.
Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, percentage.
Exactly, excellent. Addition, add, subtraction, multiplication, division, and
Percentage.
percentage. Yes, we can call it as modulus. Okay, that's nice, well and good. Now let's create some actions. How can I create some actions here? Public void add, right? These are the method structure. Right now let's go with like this, public void multiplication. Okay, now let's create a main method. So this is okay. So here you require to use some operators. Okay, and it will be okay. This program I will explain in the next class. I will explain this program, because you have to use some operators, and you have to you have to create some parameters here. Okay, so this is a very good example, and it involves a lot of other stuff, and right now it will be it will not be uh, time for you to explain this one. Okay, we'll explain this one in the next class, but you can make sure that you executed all this code and you worked well. And other than that, you can create a student class. Okay, instead you can create a student class. So in the student class, what is student operations will be having? Public void, first of all, what are the student details? So in string name, right, and string address, and int id, these are the enough, and write some actions here. Okay, and create a main method, create an object for the student class, and using the object invoke these variables, and using the same object invoke the methods. Okay, and work on it. So that's how you can take it up. And in the next class I'm going to complete this calculator example. And if you are if you understand this one, if you execute and understand this animal and student class, I will also start with variables. Okay, that's very important topic. Okay, so fine, then we'll meet tomorrow. Any questions now? I'm done with the class. Okay, so any questions?
No, Sudhir, I'm okay.
Yeah.